Experience the I Am Melanin Magic difference by going to our website www.IamMelaninMagic.com and purchasing your products today. I am Melanin Magic, and so are you. Welcome to Tunisia's Locs, Beauty Tips, and Potpourri, the channel where we get it all in. You can also learn more about the I Am Melanin Magic brand. Thank you for stopping by. Greetings. You're with Tunisia Ali of Tunisia's Locs, Beauty Tips, and Potpourri. This is a channel if you have Sisterlocks, Microlocks, Tiny Locks, whatever locks, traditional locks as well. There's some things that I can talk about on this channel that may benefit you. Shout out to all of my kindred spirits here, all of you who are my ride or die people. And I just wanted to give a shout out today as well to all of, Jennifer Brown, the next time you order something from I Am Melanin Magic, you need to text me first, 678-438-6442. I have something special for you. But I also wanted to give a shout out to all of the Cynthias on the channel. So many of you Cynthias have purchased multiple times. I got to give a shout out to you. Cynthia Dubois, Cynthia Faison, multiple. Cynthia Simmons, Cynthia Faison, Cynthia Ely, Cynthia Reese, Cynthia Canada, Cynthia Major or Major, Cynthia Joyner, Cynthia Lee, Cynthia Faison, Cynthia Faison, Cynthia Faison, Cynthia Major, Cynthia Faison, Cynthia Major. Cynthia Major and Cynthia Faison, the next time you order, please text me first at 678-438-6442, and I have a special treat for you. Shout out to the Cynthias and the Jennifers on the channel. Shout out to all of you out there who have done nothing but show your love, show your love, show your love. Woo! So today's video, and if you want to stick around, I'm going to pull an oracle card at the end. For those of you who want to stick around, make sure you put in the comments, made it to the end. But I hope that you are feeling peaceful, productive, and prosperous. I hope that you're living life passionately. I hope that you are enjoying your sister lock journey. You guys, I go in for retightening with Efraj this weekend, and I've got to do about from here to here of the front. Y'all know how serious I am about those front locks. I don't play because these are the high traffic areas. These are the areas where our locks start to thin and we start to lose hair due to the inherent risks of this beautiful, abundant, yet hazardous hairstyle that we have. I'm not bringing that into my reality, but if you don't take certain precautions, if you don't see certain things that you need to see and you're not proactive in giving your hair the nutritive support that it needs and giving your hair the styling support that it needs and giving your hair the mindset support that it needs, you run the risk of thinning, dropping out, and all these other locks. I'm still editing the video with the lovely Priscilla, who talked about at length using the henna. And y'all, I'm on the fence with henna because I'm trying to get my hair back good and strong. It's always been strong, but I said I was going to stop the color because it's just feeling so good, y'all. It took me 2 years to get it soft again. And it's feeling so good. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to experiment with a certain amount. So she's given us the names of 2 companies. The Henna Guys is one of them. That henna is already red. It's burgundy. So I'm going to give it a shot because remember, it's permanent. And then Mahindi henna. But I'm going to get that video up. I'll have it up by next Sunday. Typically, you guys tend to watch the videos more on Sunday. But let me know. Let me know because I'd like to start doing 3 videos a week. I'm thinking Saturday or Sunday, maybe Wednesday, maybe Friday, but it may be only 2 times a week is necessary for you all, depending upon your viewing schedule and capacity. So please leave me a comment and let me know, in addition to Saturday night or Sunday, what other night during the week would you be able to watch and tune into our videos? So anyway, today I wanted to talk about conversations that you need to have with your loctician. This can be for newbies, but it can also be for some of us veterans, because based on what we're finding out now, many of us are being tossed out there into the marketplace again to find another loctician for any number of reasons. So it could be a situation where I'm trying to figure out how to use this remote control pen, y'all. I'm going to try it for the first time. We're going to see how it works. But there are a lot of reasons why you may have to get another a loctician. You can see I got a part here. This was the last one I did. These need to be done. That's why I got that little opening, but we're going to figure that out. But there could be a lot of reasons why you could be looking for another loctician. Due to health reasons, you could have a baby, you could move, like I moved, even though I'm still traveling 2.5 hours to the lovely Efrage. You could become dissatisfied. You could have a loctician that's been caring for your hair for a while, it's starting to fall out. You could be new to the journey or getting ready to start your tiny lock, micro lock, sister lock journey and be trying to figure out what are some of the things I need to talk to the loctician about. What are some of the things that I should be serious about asking her? So let's dig in. If this looks like a video that you are interested in watching, then make sure you don't forget to hit that like. Hit the like, hit the like, hit the like, y'all. It's very important to hit that like. It's important to subscribe. It's important to share the video. Take a moment to copy the link and send it to someone else who either has locks or who wants to get locks or who's interested in caring for hair, or even who could benefit from a product like this and some of the other products on the site, on the I Am Melanin Magic site. It is for our locks, but it's also for protective styles, wigs, and the like, natural styles. Okay, so let's go ahead and dig in. Number one, you need to find out how the loctician feels about the brand. What brand? The Sisterlocks brand. Now, if you're doing Microlocks, and that's not going to be your concern, but you need to find out how your loctician feels about the brand, y'all. Are you looking at someone that belongs to the Sisterlocks Mafia? Shout out to the sister who coined that phrase. I'm just teasing, but y'all get the drift. Are you dealing with someone that is a Sisterlocks clone? Are you dealing with someone that's going to make you use a shampoo, that's going to tell you that you can't use oil, that's going to tell you that if you don't have 400 and one locks, you don't have Sisterlocks? What kind of mentality does this person have? Do you jive with this person? Is this person going to have a problem of continuing to suggest that you put, it's not Noxema, but what's that stuff they would tell you to put in your hair if your scalp starts bothering you? I can't think of what it is, but it's going to tell you to put that in when your scalp is peeling off layers of irritation and dry scalp that are about as thick as the glaze on a donut. Is this person still going to be telling you not to use oil? Are you going to be dealing with someone who's going to have a problem like the lovely Terry? Shout out to Terry. Where are you, Terry? I love you on the channel, who was patronizing a sister who was doing her hair for a long time, who became somehow a bit perhaps disgruntled because she began to just talk about going somewhere else to have some styling done. Are you dealing with someone that's very territorial? Like, this is stuff you need to find out ahead of time. You're going to find that out by asking them certain questions. How do I care for my hair after I get my Sisterlocks installed? Or what do you suggest I use on my hair? If they say something like, well, you have to use the Sisterlock shampoo for the first year, ding, 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 then you know that. If you say something like, well, you know, I've always had a lot of issues with dry scalp, and there's something specific that I use on my scalp that's been working so well, and I'm afraid when I get Sisterlocks, I won't be able to use this oil, just make up something, avocado oil, or this tamanu oil, or whatever it is, on my hair, and I just don't. Then they say something like, well, you know, you cannot put any oil on your hair when you have Sisterlocks. Ding, 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 ding. That's a clone. That's somebody who belongs to the Gestapo. If you're someone who needs to have a certain amount of creative control over your hair, that's not the person for you. That's something you're going to want to think about, okay? And I'm only going to give 3 because I'm starting to shorten these videos. I'll make a part 2. The second thing is how you feeling about whether or not this person needs to braid your locks all the way down to the end. Y'all, many of us have found out the hard way, and I can't say that I was one of them, because a Efrage went all the way down to about, maybe I had this much hair. These are not the same men, y'all, because I have picked my hair over the years, snapped my ends off, trying to do my OCD process. So this is not the original lock, but this is an example. She would go this far down, and then she would go all the way up. I'm hearing people leaving 2 inches out, 4 inches. Make sure you understand that whatever they leave out, even though it may lock and knot up and do what our hair will do because we have kinky hair, it's not going to look like the rest of the lock. How can it? Because the rest of the lock has a pattern. So if that has happened to you, what I would do if I were you is I would spend time every week doing this. This will help smooth the lock out, and it will help round it off, and it will help the appearance aspect of it. But it is important for you to ask how far down to the end will they braid it, because as long as you have hair at the end, they can braid it all the way down to the end. And if they're not going to braid it, like you go in and you have 10 inches of hair, you had 8 inches of hair, and they quote you based on 8 inches, you need to find out from them, does that mean you're going to braid all the way down 8 inches? So I'm assuming when they say, well, you have 8 inches of hair, let me measure. So it's going to cost you $1,550. The 7th to the 8th inch is an extra $50 or 75 or whatever. Then you say, oh, okay, so that means you're going to braid all the way down to the end, with the exception of maybe, you know, a little amount, a half of an inch or something like that. Make sure you're clear on that, because when you are in that seat and they haven't touched this amount, it's going to affect the way your hair looks. I don't care what they tell you. If they can braid to here, they can braid down to here. If your hair was this long and they could leave out this amount down here, then they can definitely braid all the way to the end. So to me, not going to the end is an act of laziness, and it's an act of negligence. If there's nothing wrong with the structure of your hair, then there should be no reason under the sun why they don't braid it all the way down to the end. Now, if I were you and that happened to me, and you can't do anything, it's after the fact, what I would do, if the hair's already started to mat up, then I would do this thing here. If it has not, what I would do is I would go in and I would plait those all the way to the bottom. Or what you can do is start at the bottom. I wish I had some hair to show you this on. You can start at the bottom. You can begin to tease it up, which is what they do. When you tease it up and you get enough tangle right here, then you begin to loop it through. You loop it through at 3 corners or 4 corners, whatever way you want to rotate it in. Loop it through until you get up to the part that's braided. So again, you're going to loop through to the 9, loop through to the 6, or whatever, northeast, southwest, whatever direction you want to use. 4 corners is always going to be 12, 3, 6, and 9, or 12, 9, 6, and 3. 3 corners is what going to be what? 12, 8, 4, right? Yeah, 12, 8, 4, 12, 8, 4, 12, 8, 4. Whatever you want to do, forwards, backwards, whatever. Bring it all the way up and have a little opening there. You can wait and see how that fills in, or you can take a little needle and you can draw it through once or twice to close that hole. There are a lot of other things you can do too. The point is, be creative. You don't have to accept mediocrity. And if someone hasn't gone all the way down and they charge you for that, you have a right to ask them, you know, or can you credit that amount? You don't want to say, well, you didn't braid my hair all the way down, I want my money back. Can you credit those inches to my next retightening? Find a way to see if you can't negotiate that if it has already happened to you. If it hasn't happened to you, make sure you get clear on what your quote actually entails going in, so that there's nothing that you don't understand, okay? Okay, next thing, I'm trying to see if this little thing will work. If you're at the beginning of the process, just can't hurt to ask them how many locks they think you're going to have. How many locks you think I'm going to have? Is there a guaranteed minimum number of locks? Now, to me, it's not all that important. But if you're someone and you've heard that you need to have 400 or 450 locks in order to have Sisterlocks, and you're looking at your hair and you only have 300, then you either have to accept there's a reason why I have 300. This is what the volume and density of my hair has commanded for me. My loctician knows best. If I were to have 400, or if I were to have more, maybe it would look nice, but maybe I would experience thinning down the line. Get some understanding of that. If you have already had your locks done and you know you don't have a certain so-called minimum number like 400 or 450, you may want to ask, if I had had more locks, in what way do you think that might have impacted my journey? Because you could be dealing with someone, if you have the grid and the grid is proper, maybe they didn't feel like your hair had the density. I'm glad I have gray now, because then I can look at some of this. If I see something, I can say, oh, that's okay. Yeah, that's a gray, or that's a part of the loop, the way my hair loop, and the light is hitting it a certain way, but it ain't lit. So you can get some justification about why. You need to understand the why. It's important that you're able to make peace with whatever the decisions are that your loctician has made for your hair. In order for you to feel good about this person, in order for you to give off good appreciative energy when you sit in that chair, it's important to understand what was the foundation for why they made certain decisions for you. And I'm just saying. The other thing that's important is you want to get a sense of how they manage grievances or complaints. Do they have a complaint process? Now, as you're starting to ask these questions, your average person is going to think that you are, to put it mildly, a Virgo, or they're going to think that you have lost your mind, or they're going to think that you're anal retentive. And they may decide that they don't like all the questions that you're asking them and blah, 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 blah. Okay, if you have someone you're already working with, this shouldn't be a problem. If you are dealing with someone new, they may be suspect. Because people today and people in general don't like to feel like they're under attack. And unfortunately, we have such fragile self-esteems that we're dealing with today. And people who may not, how do I say this without sounding the way it probably should sound, if I'm frank? If you're doing the job you're supposed to do, people can ask you any number of questions and you shouldn't be offended. You should feel very confident and not insecure. If you know who you are and you know what you're doing and you trust the level of service you provide, y'all can ask me anything about these oils and I'm going to answer them. And if we don't fit and we're not a match, it won't be because I didn't answer the question and give you the information you needed. Okay? That goes with any service that I'm providing. I feel good about what I'm doing. I know that I'm doing the best that I can do. If we don't mesh and we don't measure and we don't vibe, then you have a right to go your way and I go mine, but I'm not going to feel offended because you may ask me one question after the other, after the other, after the other. Now, if you start going hackling me about my prices, yeah, you're going to see me at some point. I'm going to say, listen, this is what I'm charging. There are reasons why I'm charging this, and there's a huge marketplace out there, and you can shop wherever you want to shop. If you feel like you can get something better, I wish you the absolute best, but this is kind of what I need to charge for the work that I do, and there are reasons behind that, and they're very viable, and this is what I believe in. So hopefully in paying that, you will be satisfied with the quality so much that you won't worry about the price, or you won't worry about what initially you thought might have been cost prohibitive. But you'll be polite. You expect to be treated in a polite way. So these are some of the things you want to be mindful of. How are they going to receive the questions that you're asking, which means you need to be diplomatic. You can't always be direct, y'all. You can't always meet something head on head. You kind of go around a bit. You need to be diplomatic. So the word grievance may be offensive. Okay, so maybe you don't say, well, do you have a grievance process? How do you handle grievances? Grievances? Like, is this a court of law? What the hell? So you may decide you want to say something like, well, have you ever had a client that was dissatisfied, and how did you deal with that? Or how do you deal with clients that are dissatisfied or have issues? You kind of go in, and this is after you've built a rapport. Save your more difficult questions for the end, and don't ask too many questions. If you got a list of 10 questions, pick your 4 top most important questions, the things that are do or die for you, and stick with those. How do you handle, or have you ever had a situation with a client who was very upset about something that happened? Boom. Here's another question, which is serious. With clients, and this is where you make assumptions. You make an assumption so that you steer them into a certain response. You don't say, do you have clients that have lost hair? They're going to say no. What you do is you give them an open-ended response. First of all of your questions are open-ended. You don't give them closed-ended questions. A closed-ended question is a yes or no question. Do you like Sisterlocks? Yes. Do I use oil on my locks? No. But you say something like, with the clients of yours that have over time experienced a little bit of thinning, what do you recommend? You don't say, do you have any clients that have experienced thinning? They're going to say no. Of course they're going to say no because they don't want to be implicated. But if you say, what are some suggestions you make for clients that deal with hair thinning after they've had locks for a while? That way, when you're phrasing the question, it sounds like, oh, okay, having locks for a while is going to contribute to some thinning. It's not your fault. I'm not blaming you. I'm not picking on you, but you give them an opportunity to feel less defensive. And whenever we feel less defensive, we can identify with that. The question that you ask, we don't take it personal. We know that you're on our side because you're not pointing a finger. You're giving us a format in which to answer that question in a way that doesn't indict us. So these are important things that I want you to remember. How you're asking the questions of the people that are doing your hair, whether you are new to the process, whether you're just considering Sisterlocks, or whether you're sitting in someone's chair for a number of years. Let's say you're sitting in a sister's chair, she's been doing your hair for all this time. Who was it that texted me today? Oh, let me give a shout out to this sister. She sent me quite the lengthy text today, and I want y'all to hear this. And sister, hopefully you don't mind. I'll give a first name, but I won't give a last name. I think she thought I was a loctician consultant, which I'm not. But this is what she sent me some beautiful. Look at this sister. Her hair is growing. Look how beautiful it is. Sha into color. So take a listen to this. This is a lengthy, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful head of hair, sister. Gorgeous. This is another Cynthia. Oh my gosh, this is another Cynthia. Okay, so my name is Cynthia and I live in blah, blah, but we'll go wherever I can to find a technician that is compatible with me and my specific hair journey. See, this is the place you get to when you've done your due diligence and when you've been around and you've had your dark night of the soul with the hair. Now you know you ain't playing with just anybody having their hands in your hair because you've been around the block a few times. I'm relieved to find all of your YouTube information, especially all caps, on the prevention of thinning Sisterlocks. So y'all, I do the best I can with that. I don't want to be a victim. I got to be ahead of the game just like y'all are. I got to keep my hair strong. I got to investigate my locks. My locks are getting longer. I've got the extra weight. I've got them getting caught on things. I've got the reties. I got a lot of stuff to manage. And I want to keep y'all abreast of this process the entire way. Y'all already know I don't have no problem with no thinning hair in my family. Not my grandmothers on both sides or my mother. So if I start losing hair, you already know it's got to do with these locks, right? So I got to minimize the impact of this style that I love so much so that I can keep them as long as possible. But we know that there are some inherent risks. And if you think, this is what I want you to understand. If I don't serve any other purpose on this channel, it's for you to understand that this is an at-risk hairstyle. When you leave out your house, you're at risk. When you ride in the car, if you don't have a seatbelt on, you're at risk. If you put the seatbelt on, you're at risk, right? This is an at-risk hairstyle. So there's certain things that you're going to need to do to increase the chances that you don't have a head-on collision. That's the truth. That's the truth. And that's why I tell you, you got to inspect what you expect. You got to pay attention to what's going on with your locks. You got to intervene. And you got to recognize that the longer you have these Sisterlocks, the greater at risk you are if you don't do certain things. So y'all got to keep up with the channel content. You got to watch these videos because I'm in this boat just like y'all are, all right? Also, I just purchased the I Am Melanin Magic Hair Oil and the Magical Hair Growth Serum today, so she purchased both. Shout out to you, Cynthia. You may have been the Cynthia. You're the Cynthia whose name I probably read initially. I'm so excited to start using your products. I'm excited for you too, beautiful lady. Will you install my new set of Sisterlocks? Oh, I'm restarting, so you won't need as much hand-holding as a newbie. I can give you Efrage's information. Tell her that I sent you. All right? Keep in mind that Efrage is not taking any new clients. However, Efrage, I hope not. Yep. Her number is 207-6281. 404-207-6281. But Efrage will establish you, but you'll have to find someone else to maintain you. But she will establish you. Tell her that I sent you. And she's down here in the ATL. My last technician left the state and was not receptive to discussing the thinning problem in any detail. That's why I'm contacting you. Okay. Y'all, we got to get Cynthia up here on the channel. We got to talk to Cynthia about the thinning. We have got to talk to Cynthia. So she gives me her phone number, which I will be contacting you. All right. And she continues to go on. She's looking for a loctician. She's going to send me more photos. Thanks for caring enough about our hair to provide such useful information. Your level of caring gives me hope. Yeah, y'all, I care. Look, I am relentless. Do you hear me? I am relentless. And what that means is I don't stop with anything in my life until I get what I want. Either I just disconnect and I'm not interested anymore. As long as I'm interested, I'm going to be finding out stuff. I'm going to be trying stuff. Y'all know I'm already working on 3 more new products. I'm working on the Magical Hair Growth Serum Accelerator, which is similar to this one, but it's a whole nother set of ingredients. So, you know, just like a body, everybody's body responds to something differently. So some of you guys who are hooked on this, hooked on phonics, might want to also try that. I hope to have these 3 things ready by the middle to late spring. I'm hoping to have the moisturizing water-based spray ready by spring. So keep in touch with me. About 20 of you guys have given me your contact information. If you've already tried my products and you are a convert and you're interested in being in the second or third tier clinical trials with regard to the moisturizing spray or something for irritated, dry scalp, let me know and text me at 678-438-6442. Give me your first name, your last name, tell me which product you're interested in, and if it happens to be dry scalp, irritation, whatever, give me some background on your particular hair condition and let me know if there's anything that you are sure already that you are allergic to. Let me know if there's something you've already tried that you seem to be getting some results from, but it's just not quite enough. In other words, it's working in that it's not breaking you out and making your situation worse. Give me that information in a text. I will add you to the list as long as the list is still open, and when the product goes out and you want to give it a shot, I'll be there. Okay, so her hair is 4 inches long, stretched out, 4B curl pattern, not too thin but not too dense. She wet and conditions her hair daily, and she uses a lot of products in her hair, but she doesn't shampoo daily. Yeah, y'all know about that shampoo now. Y'all know this time I go to Efrage, I will shampoo my hair by the end of the week. Well, I look at my hair. I ain't got it ain't dirty, y'all, but maybe I won't, because I think I shampooed my hair, 3-4 weeks ago? Y'all know, and why did I shampoo it? I shampooed it for a specific reason, because y'all know I usually shampoo my hair one time in between reties or right before the retie. I don't do no whole lot of shampooing. So I'm going to check my scalp. I ain't got no dirts, no flakes. My scalp looks good. It looks healthy. My hair is clean. It's smelling good. I use that product very lightly. Remember, it's antifungal, antibacterial. I put this in, been putting this like in this area. I got a couple other little areas I'm trying to stimulate more growth. Y'all know this is going to bring up. Some of you said the hairs are just so unruly that are growing in. They're just growing in. These little hairs are unruly. It is going to give you a start. It's going to help with certain areas. And y'all remember, before I had my locks, I always had thin sides. They weren't balding, but they were always thin. So it wasn't until, last summer, I said, let me try a little bit of this on my hair. And then I noticed it started filling in, and I was like, damn, I accepted all my life that that's just the way my hair was, but this has made a difference. So this can help fill in. And for some of you, if you continue to use it, it can help get you beyond an inch to where you can begin to maintain it with whatever else you're already using. And this is the Magical Hair Growth Serum. The label is different though. I think I'm going to have to put the regular label on here for this one. Yeah, this stuff lasts you forever. This stuff lasts you forever. All of my oils, when you get them out, you got over 1.5 years time on them by the way I make the oils. But y'all, this joker's been down here over 1 year. And there's nothing rancid about it at all. You want to make sure it doesn't smell rancid. Oh, God is great. God is great. So anyway, so we're dealing with the beautiful Cynthia. And Cynthia also said she wanted the Microlock size. She had 515 last time. So here's y'all. Oh, and she said, I will separate any that try to grow together, but I like the way to not retighten too tight and not until 6 or 7 week intervals. She enjoyed her Sisterlocks, but they began to fall out after she had her loctician, who was a cosmetologist, color her Sisterlocks. See, y'all, that's why I tell you, if I'm on, look, I colored my own hair and I didn't experience any fallout. And I colored my own. If I'm going to your butt, your jack butt, and then I got to lose my locks, I'm going to be mad as hell. You might as well go and get you some Vidal Sassoon. And I will tell you, even when I was growing up, whenever I used the black hair colors like Soft and Beautiful, Dark and Lovely, they would dry my hair and break them. My suggestion is, if you're going to color your hair, get Vidal Sassoon or Clairol. I did Vidal Sassoon for 2-3 years straight. I never lost any hair. My ends got a little tricky, but then y'all know I was using this in my hair and shoring it up. But I didn't lose locks and my locks did not break. Why am I going to go to a cosmetologist for her to jack my hair up? If you use something in the marketplace, you already know the chemical acceleration level or the chemical power of that thing can't be beyond a certain level. Otherwise, it can't be on the market. I'm not going to use anything that's for commercial use only. And I'm sitting down in the chair and these, because y'all, I've talked to many sisters who have used these kinds of things on their hair and their hair has still come out. And a lot of times it happens when you go with color. Y'all can color your own locks. It's not that difficult. But here again, it's like oil in your hair. You got to be somebody who's not afraid to touch your locks. Shout out to the beautiful Priscilla. You have to be someone who may have already been accustomed to doing your own hair anyway in order to feel comfortable doing that. The most important thing is to rinse the product out. If you got to rinse all day, rinse the product out and make sure you get it all out. But when I was using the color, y'all, I'd be massaging it in. But I make sure I use that, what's that special shampoo that neutralizes it? So it's important. But her hair started coming out from the root around her hairline. She said it was very traumatizing when the technician colored her locks, and it was okay. And that's the thing about the coloring. Shout out to Dee Dee. I want to talk to you about the impact of the indigo on the coloring that she recently did. She started experiencing some hair loss, and she was using henna. But it doesn't seem like it was the same kind of henna that Priscilla recommends. And Priscilla's been using henna for over a decade on her hair and has had great results. And she's very sensitive. So it has a lot to do with the kind of henna. But I want to talk to Dee Dee. Hopefully I'll be able to get Dee Dee on the channel. We talked more recently via text. I kept the remaining locks, so I may be able to color my former locks a darker color and my current salt and pepper short afro and reattach them later. See, that was smart. She kept her former locks and she can reattach them. Because it's your hair. If you have to reattach when it falls out, who cares? When it's your hair, you can reattach them. Reattach the lock. I love that. So I want to talk to her. I really want to talk to her. Very sweet sister. I got to talk to Cynthia. So anyway, y'all, just to get back to what I was talking about, I'm going to stop right there. What is the grievance process? Because every consultant, every entrepreneur, every professional doesn't always feel like the customer's always right. Some are willing, and you may not be right because you're not a loctician or a cosmetologist, but it feels good to have someone validate your concerns. It feels good to know that there's someone who will listen to you. Just stop filming. Unbelievable. So it feels good to know that you have someone who will listen to you and won't be dismissive. That's really what you want. You want to be able to be in a situation where you can enjoy the journey with the same person to the extent possible, provided that there is a resonance there. It's better than hopping around, but by the same token, you have to remember that it is a very delicate relationship. And the more that the demand is for these locticians and consultants, the more choosy they can be. It's supply and demand, which is why I always say, God bless a child who has his own, and it wouldn't hurt you to figure out how to do a retightening on your own in the event that you find yourself out in deep waters without a paddle. So these are some of the things that we have to keep in mind. I was talking, I don't remember what the rest of the video said, but I do remember saying, if you haven't purchased my book, Manifesting Your Masterpiece, go ahead out there and get that book. If you vibe with my energy and you like the things I talk about, then know that how a person is with one thing is how they are with everything. I put that same kind of passion into my healing practice and the other work that I do. I like to talk about the things, y'all, that help us live a better life. We all have challenges. Life is a struggle, but life is a beautiful struggle. And there's certain things that we need to shine the light of awareness on that make life more of a beautiful struggle than just a struggle. So this book will help you to develop clarity around some of the issues that may be buried in your subconscious, or develop clarity around some of the issues that need to be in your conscious mind so that you can live more intentionally. This book will help you to make a mindset shift and to step into a higher vibrational energy that will allow you to attract towards you higher level experiences. It's just here to help heal you. It is a daily set of mindset reflections and verbals and things that are intellectually stimulating and provocative to help you get a larger slice of life. You can get not I Am Melanin Magic, that is the brand, IamMelaninMagic.com, but you can get Manifesting Your Masterpiece on Amazon.com. Thank you so much for the thousands of you that have already purchased that book. I am so grateful. I never knew when I wrote that book that this channel would be a main way that book would be in the hands of many wonderful, wonderful women and some men too. I never knew that that would be one of the ways that I guess that I would be able to share my work with the collective. So I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for you. Please keep coming back to the channel, show your support. For those of you who are constantly out there in the comments, I appreciate y'all. I go through regularly when I can and I look at those comments. And a lot of you know that I'll give you personal feedback. A lot of people with channels, they're not able to do that, or they don't, take those things seriously, or they have automated responses that you can get apps that give you automated responses. I try to sit down and engage you. So I appreciate you. As much as you may appreciate some of the things I bring to the channel, I do it for us. I do it for you. I love y'all. And I did say I was going to pull a card. So for those of y'all who are sticking around to the end, let's just pull one message. Let's look at what you're needing to draw your attention to today. All right. Oh, I have a reading in 30 minutes. Oh, we have Roses Have Thorns. We had 2 cards to pop out. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? And this deck, as a matter of fact, is Rasuli. Okay? It's the Great Eastern Oracle. So roses have thorns, okay? Nobody ever promised you a rose garden. Pain can be an awakening call. Okay? The beautiful things in life, y'all, we need contrast. If we don't have contrast in life, like with the beauty comes the burden. All right? With the good comes the challenges. If we didn't have challenges, or we didn't have contrast in life, we couldn't appreciate and acknowledge and define what feels good without having the things that are uncomfortable. But those things that are uncomfortable in your life are there to help you move forward, are there to provide incentives. They are there for your growth. Keep in mind that there could be something in your life that looks as good and it glitters, but may not be gold. So you may know which way this message is applying to you. But isn't that so beautiful? We got all the chakras in there. Look at that. Solar plexus, crown, root, third eye. What in the world? Heart chakra. Oh, my goodness. All right, the next message says, get into the energy vortex. Trust your higher consciousness. So this is about tapping into the richness of vibrational energy that God has created in the God field that you have access to. Okay, this is getting into the vortex where you're able to manifest. This is a mental and an emotional thing. Maybe there's something in your life that you're needing to pull yourself up from. Maybe you've had a circumstance that has been challenging as of late, and something that you thought was going to go the distance, or you thought was going to bring something into your life, and all of a sudden you're seeing and experiencing some setbacks and having some difficulties. This is saying don't allow that to drag you down. Raise your vibration, shift the way that you look at this situation, change your mindset around it, and get into a frequency that's going to pull you up out of this challenging situation and allow you to create something new in your life. Okay? I love you. Hope y'all got something from that, for those of you who stuck around, and I'll see you soon. Bye.
If you are not using I Am Melanin Magic hair oil, then what are you using?
Hey guys, so I started using this oil called I Am Melanin Magic since February of this year, and check out the new growth. Like, it's insane. Not only did it help with my new growth, but it smells amazing too.
See the dramatic improvements Denisha has made after not having hair around her edges for 3 years. Tanya's hair had been like this for almost 20 years, and while getting injections. Her doctor said it was scarred and would never grow back. After 4 weeks of using I Am Melanin Magic, this is what she looked like. I Am Melanin Magic did this to Danette's hair after a short time. Hi, I'm the creator of the I Am Melanin Magic hair and skincare brand. My vision has always been to develop a line of products that meets the unique needs of melanated people. The I Am Melanin Magic hair oil is our premier product. It is the leading high-end supplement for your mane.
It reduces breakage, promotes growth, and can be used on all hair types and looks, from straightened hair and microlocks to wigs and protective styles.
It's antifungal, antibacterial, and anti-funk, so you know you're protected.
It softens and conditions your hair, and it's anti-frizz too.
This really is all you need. It's rich with antioxidants, loaded with growth-promoting ingredients. Look at the growth of my hair. The proof is in the product. Need I say more? Don't delay. Purchase yours today.
I am Melanin Magic, and so are you.